In 1962, President John F. Kennedy declared for the first time in United States history a National Peace Officers Memorial Day and a National Police Week. He said at the time, "It is important that people throughout our country know and understand the problems, duties, and responsibilities of their police departments, and that members of our law enforcement agencies recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and property, by protecting them against violence or disorder, and by protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression or intimidation." 63 years later, the tradition of both honoring the lives of those who have fallen in the line of duty and celebrating the service of those who remain still lives strong with National Police Week. My name is Crystal Fletcher, and on behalf of the Awards Committee at the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department, I want to welcome you to the 2025 edition of our annual Police Week Awards ceremony. Our goal today is simple, and that is to publicly recognize the incredible work our employees have done over the past year. The CMPD Awards Committee seeks to tell the story of our agency. As desperately as we may try, the stories of bravery, sacrifice, and dedication that you are going to hear today are by no means exhaustive for our agency. Every single day, the men and women of this department show up and answer the call of service. While it may seem ordinary to them, I assure you that it is, in fact, extraordinary, and that it is recognized by their family, their friends, this department, and the people of this city. Today, we celebrate that work. I want to take a moment to recognize a special guest that we have here from the Civil Service Board, Crystal Screen. Thank you for being here. And then I would like to invite the senior pastor of First Baptist Church, Rob Wilton, to the stage to say a few words.
Good morning. Special congratulations to those who will receive awards today. We are so thankful for your bravery and your sacrifice. And it's an honor, Chief Jennings, for our church family to be once again the host of this important week, today's event, and also our memorial on Friday. We are family together, and I know that I speak not only for our church family, but for churches all over our city. We love you. We are thankful to serve our city alongside you. One of my favorite verses in Scripture is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10, where it tells us to be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his might. And I want you to know that every time we pray, every time we bow our heads as the church here in Charlotte, we pray that God would give you strength to continue to serve our city as you are so faithfully. It's an honor for our church to have you here today. And it's an honor for us to be in this city together. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Senior Pastor Wilton. We appreciate you. At this time, I'm going to ask you to stand as our always dedicated CMPD Honor Guard presents the colors, and for the singing of our national anthem by Officer Joseph Garcia. Following the anthem, Chaplain Luke Mabry will deliver the invocation.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let us pray. Good and gracious God, we have been gathered here as a community of law enforcement numerous times in the past on very, very sad occasions. We are grateful, so grateful, Lord, that this today is a happy one. We're grateful for all the men and women who put on this uniform every day and who protect and serve this community. We're grateful for all the work that they do that goes unnoticed. And we are grateful that if we did notice all that they did every day, we would never leave this place. Lord, we are able to recognize some, and for every act of bravery and kindness and compassion, we give you thanks. We're thankful for their families, for their friends, for this community. We're thankful for grace itself, amazing grace that saves even all of us. Bless us this day as we recognize these accomplishments, and bless the work of our hands, the words of our mouths, so that we may serve you and this community faithfully. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to ask CMPD Police Chief Johnny Jennings.
You don't have to stand while I speak, so you can sit down. Thank you. What an amazing day this is. I look out and I see the crowd, and I think by far this is the largest attended award ceremony that we've seen in the history of our department. So thank everyone for being here. I certainly appreciate it as we celebrate the great work of our men and women within the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department, both sworn and non-sworn. You're going to hear some amazing things today. You're going to hear some feats that officers have done in putting themselves in danger. You're going to hear some feats of our non-sworn that have been support of our sworn staff as well. But as Lieutenant Fletcher said earlier, that a lot of the things you're going to hear are ordinary for many of us within the department, but extraordinary for our community. And when you hear these, and it puts it in perspective of just what our men and women face every single day. I am blessed beyond belief to be able to lead this fine organization, which I still stand by, that is the finest in the entire country. And I'm blessed to be able to be a part of it. And I think every one of us should always feel that way. This is a time to celebrate. What you're going to hear today doesn't even match some things that are happening on a regular basis. There are other things out there that our officers do that you may not hear about, but it goes on a regular basis every day. Today is also special because we get to celebrate April 29th, 2024, which we didn't get to do last year. So as you hear about officers that face danger, none more so than the worst tragedy in the history of policing in North Carolina that happened last year, April 29th. So again, congratulations to all the award recipients. God bless everyone in the audience as well, your families, and continue to do what you do to keep our police department to be the greatest in the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Jennings. Before we begin the awards ceremony recognizing the extraordinary bravery and sacrifice shown on April 29, 2024, we ask that you please turn your attention to the monitors for a short video honoring those we lost and those forever changed by that tragic day.
We know multiple officers were shot, and we know this incident started as U.S. Marshals were working to serve a warrant on Galway Drive.
CMPD asking everyone, if you are in the area, please remain in your residence.
Today's an absolute tragic day for the city of Charlotte and for the profession of law enforcement. Today we lost some heroes that are out to just simply trying to keep our community safe.
Charlotte, North Carolina is a city in mourning today after 4 police officers were killed in the line of duty. They were serving a warrant at a home when they were met with gunfire.
I come to you again with heavy heart to announce that Officer Joshua Iyer recently passed away as he succumbed to the injuries that he sustained this afternoon in the shooting.
Today, however, our hearts are particularly heavy as we mourn the tragic loss of our very own Officer Sam Pelosi and Alden Elliott. Let us not only honor their memory, but also renew our commitment to upholding the values that they each held dear.
And I want you to just pause a moment and please offer your thoughts and prayers and think about them and their families and everybody that suffered yesterday. We didn't just have a bad day for the community. This is a loss for the entire country.
Charlotte stands for its fallen. That is the message reflected on billboards tonight on I-77 as the Charlotte area mourns the 4 officers killed in an ambush yesterday.
That as the community came together for a prayer vigil tonight, faith and community leaders gathering with the rest of the public to not only remember the lives lost, but to also pray for our community.
The surviving CMPD officers hurt in last Monday's East Charlotte standoff are now out of the hospital. Officers Chris Tolley, Michael Giglio, Jack Blowers, and Justin Campbell are now recovering at home.
Also, a memorial set up at the North Tryon station. In front of there is a patrol car with an American flag draped over it. Dozens of flowers were brought there by people who knew CMPD officer Joshua Iyer and those who didn't.
Well, I'd like to send honor and blessing to all of the families, and we all stand with you.
Protection can also happen even after the worst tragedies. Tuesday afternoon, a beautiful display of brotherhood from the Charlotte Police Department as over 100 squad cars escorted the body of Josh Iyer from the medical examiner's office to a funeral home a short distance away. Cars pulled off the freeway in a sign of respect and solidarity, a message to officers that they are not alone.
The officers need to feel like the community's on their side, which is what this is all about.
Mark Turner helped place these flags outside along 7th Street, adding to this display of compassion for CMPD officer Joshua Iyer, his family, friends, and wife.
I hope she can really, really feel God's peace and God's arms wrapped around her.
There were so many paying their respects, patrol lights backed up for as far as you could see.
And it's very powerful, and you can't help but be moved by it.
Men and women from across the state representing the blue.
Officer Elliott's family is not just by blood. It's an entire brother and sisterhood all across North Carolina.
I think it's a great time that the community comes together and see just what great things that the officers do for our county and our country.
Police cars, as far as you could see, lined the procession route from Charlotte to Newton.
Thank you to all of our officers out there still doing everything till this day, and just keeping on going. And just thank you for serving and just being there for us, keeping us safe.
Along the road, community members arrived to show their respects. Small children saluting as the procession rolled by.
Hundreds of thousands of men and women around this country that do this every single day for the good of the people. And unfortunately, people don't remember that until it's clearly too late.
So I feel empathy, I feel sympathy, but in the same sense, I feel like I have to be here. I have to say, we love you, we're here, we got you.
We just want to come here to support them, let them know that we're behind them. We're behind all of them.
Baldwin Anderson Jr. knows the officer.
Sam was just a quiet guy, but intelligent and loving.
His two sons participated in the Pathfinders Club, similar to the Boy Scouts. Anderson says Pelosi always supported the club.
Sam would come by all the time, you know, as a smart self, whether it be computer knowledge to help us along the way.
Tommy's mission in life was to make the world safer and fight for justice. So what do I need? I need this country to come together, to support our law enforcement officers so they can continue to fight for justice like my husband did.
There's nothing more important in this world than our families. Despite the never-ending positives I have to say about Josh's work ethic, what I'm most proud of is the father and husband I knew him to be.
Talking to our officers, going to roll calls and seeing the work, that when I stand in front of you and I see you still put that uniform on, and you still go out to protect and serve our community, and you are still doing your job with honor and respect. That's what you are defined by, and that's who we are.
We know multiple officers.
April 29th was a day that changed everything. A day of heartbreak, of unimaginable sacrifice, and of heroic resolve that will forever be etched in the soul of the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department. What began as a mission to bring justice turned without warning into one of the darkest and most defining moments in our department's history. In a matter of minutes, chaos erupted and our officers faced a brutal ambush. They did not retreat. They did not falter. They stood their ground for each other. In the face of overwhelming danger, these officers embodied the highest ideals of our profession. They shielded the wounded. They carried one another to safety. They moved toward the sound of gunfire with the singular purpose of protecting lives, not knowing if they would survive the next step. That is what courage looks like. That is what heroism feels like. We lost 4 remarkable public servants that day: CMPD Officer Joshua Iyer, Deputy U.S. Marshal Tommy Weeks, and North Carolina Department of Adult Correction Investigators Alden Elliott and Samuel Peloche. On April 29, 2024, these heroes made the ultimate sacrifice in service to others. Their absence is a void that can never be filled. Their legacy, however, will live on eternally. To the officers injured that day, whose courage continues through every step of recovery, we see you. To the families who grieve with unrelenting pain, we carry your heartbreak with us. No ceremony, no award, and no words will ever be enough to honor the lives lost or repay the debt of trauma that has been endured. Today is a solemn tribute of bravery, to sacrifice, and to the unbreakable bond of service. The awards given out today are symbols, but the true honor lies in the stories of those who earned them. Their courage lives on in every step we take forward, and as long as we wear this badge, we do so in their honor, forever remembering and forever grateful. I would like to ask Chief Jennings to join me back on stage as we start to recognize one of our very own who gave everything in the line of duty. Thank you, Chief. The first awards presented from the incident of April 29th is the Gold Cross and the Medal of Valor.
The Gold Cross is awarded posthumously to any CMPD officer killed in the line of duty. The Medal of Valor may be awarded to employees who have distinguished themselves by acts of extraordinary bravery in the performance of an act to preserve life or property with the clear risk of serious injury or death present during the action.
The Gold Cross and the Medal of Valor are presented to Ashley Iyer, wife of CMPD Officer Joshua Iyer. The next awards presented from the incidents of April 29th are for the Purple Heart and the Medal of Valor.
The Purple Heart is awarded to a CMPD officer who is seriously injured in the performance of his or her duties due to assaults or other circumstances requiring action by the officer.
The recipients of both the Purple Heart and the Medal of Valor are Officer Justin Campbell, Officer Michael Gillio, Officer Christopher Tolley, and Officer Jack Blowers. The recipients of the Medal of Valor for events that took place on April 29th are Sergeants Robert Jenkins, Joseph Milliken, Henry Roselle, Chad Shingler, Officers Manuel Oscar Abrina. You guys can come on up as I call your name. Officer Owen Bailey, Officers Ronald Colicchio, Jose Gomez, Christopher Green, Brian Grisales Rios, Zachary Henleys, Jason Humphreys, Alexander Keller, Yongmin Kim, Kevin Lavelle, John McGinty, Cameron Moncontavan, Igor Oderchuk, Michael Romps, William Salazar, Jesse Scudder Cotherman, Tyler Spiegler, Derek West, Gresham Wilhelm, and Officer Kelly Zagar. The final award presented for actions taken on April 29th is the CMPD Life Saving Award.
The Life Saving Award recognizes an employee for saving a human life.
The recipient of the Life Saving Award is Officer Christopher Scheib. We will now move into our departmental awards for 2025. The first award will be for the Purple Heart and the Medal of Valor. Our first recipients of the Medal of Valor are Officer Kenneth Clutie and Officer Joshua Heater. On September 22, 2024, Still Creek officers Joshua Heater and Kenneth Clutie, responding to a shooting report involving a fleeing black Honda, stopped a matching vehicle on Arrowwood Road. During the stop, the driver produced a handgun and aimed it at Officer Heater at close range. With no cover or escape, Officer Heater immediately fired in self-defense and to protect his partner. Simultaneously, Officer Clutie also engaged the suspect, sustaining 2 serious gunshot wounds. Despite his injuries, Officer Clutie remained composed and maintained scene control. Officer Heater precisely called in the incident location and then provided critical first aid to Officer Clutie, applying a tourniquet and pressure. The suspect was found deceased in the vehicle. Officers Heater and Clutie displayed extraordinary courage, composure, and decisive action in a life-threatening situation, embodying valor and the highest traditions of CMPD. The next recipient of the Purple Heart is Officer Michael Wilson, Jr. On March 7, 2025, Officer Wilson was shot while attempting to serve multiple arrest warrants on an armed suspect. Officers responded to a call for service to execute the warrants at the suspect's residence. Upon arrival, they surrounded the building and made contact at the front door. The suspect then emerged from the back door with a hand concealed in clothing. Despite officers' commands to surrender, the suspect fled. Officer Wilson was one of 2 officers who pursued and caught up to the suspect. The suspect turned and fired 2 shots, striking both officers. Officer Wilson sustained a gunshot wound to his hip. Despite this injury, he continued to engage the suspect, even grabbing the suspect's firearm to prevent further harm to other officers until the suspect was apprehended. Our next award is the Medal of Merit.
The Medal of Merit Award recognizes CMPD employees who have performed admirably in response to specific situations. The incident may have been of an emergency nature or a routine event, but the employee's exceptional performance merits special recognition.
Our first recipient of the Medal of Merit is Officer Aaron DeRoba. On August 22, 2024, Officer DeRoba was investigating a stolen tractor-trailer car hauler when events took a tragic and chaotic turn. While on scene with Officer Reitzel and the vehicle owner near Mount Holly Road, a motorhome sideswiped Officer DeRoba's vehicle, fatally struck a civilian, and violently collided with Officer Reitzel's patrol car, causing it to go airborne and seriously injuring him. Despite being shaken and injured himself, Officer DeRoba acted immediately. He called in the necessary resources, rushed to Officer Reitzel's vehicle without hesitation, and rendered aid. His calm presence, compassion, and quick response provided critical support to his injured colleague and helped stabilize a traumatic scene. What began as a routine investigation became a life-threatening crisis. Officer DeRoba's courage, compassion, composure, and selflessness in the face of tragedy are commendable. He is a true example of professionalism and humanity in uniform. The next recipients of the Medal of Merit are Officer Noah Pauldine and Officer Jacob Clark. While attempting a traffic stop on a vehicle with no tags in a known auto theft area, Officer Kirsten Todd pursued a fleeing suspect who ultimately fell into Lake Wiley. Hearing cries for help, Officers Pauldine and Clark immediately removed their gear and jumped into the cold, dark water to rescue the drowning suspect. swimming 30 to 40 feet from the dock to pull him ashore. Once on land, Officer Todd began CPR, continuing until exhaustion, with Sergeant Jared Moore and Officers Zachary Bechtel and Dylan Ock rotating in until EMS survived. Despite their efforts, the suspect was later pronounced deceased at the hospital. The outside temperature was 42 degrees and the water in the low 50s, conditions that posed risk for real hypothermia. These officers risked their own safety, showing incredible bravery, teamwork, and compassion in an urgent life or death situation. Their actions exemplify true dedication to duty. The next recipient of the Medal of Merit is Officer Jade Hill and Officer Alan Lil Vargas. Officers from Freedom Division responded to a shooting where multiple apartments were struck by gunfire. One of the victims, a 2-year-old child, was hit while sleeping, shot in the abdomen with the bullet exiting her back. Officer Vargas arrived with minutes and, upon seeing the child's critical condition, made the decision to self-transport rather than wait for medic, which was still 7 minutes out. Officer Hill arrived moments later, assessing the severity, and agreed without hesitation. Officer Hill drove emergency traffic to the hospital while Officer Vargas sat in the back seat, applying life-saving pressure to the child's wounds during transport. Their swift decision-making, teamwork, and courage under pressure were instrumental in giving the young victim a fighting chance. Their actions are a testament to dedication, training, and compassion in the face of crisis. The next recipients of the Medal of Merit are Officer Austin Allen, Officer Michael Thorson, Officer DeAndre Harris, and Officer Travis Honeycutt. On May 12, 2024, officers responded to reports of gunfire at Paces Oaks Boulevard. Officers Honeycutt and Harris were already speaking with the complainant when additional shots were fired. As they approached the third-floor apartment, one round was fired at them from inside. Officer Honeycutt gave loud commands and signaled a 1033 over the radio. He then moved the victim and applied a tourniquet to the victim's leg. Upon arrival, Officers Thorson and Allen were briefed and assisted in clearing the apartment. Officer Honeycutt continued treating the victim, identifying more wounds. The 3 officers carried the victim down 3 flights of stairs and rendered first aid, including placing him in the recovery position, applying a chest seal, and offering reassurance amid a chaotic scene. Once stabilized, CFD and medic took over care. The victim survived and was discharged on May 28th of 2024. He told homicide detectives he was deeply grateful to the officers, crediting them with saving his life. Our next award is for the Patrol Training Officer of the Year.
The Patrol Training Officer of the Year award is presented to the PTO who has demonstrated exceptional leadership qualities in training newly sworn officers in patrol functions, preliminary investigative functions, state municipal laws, departmental policies, practices, and procedures.
The 2025 recipient of the Patrol Training Officer of the Year is Officer Christopher Pagan. Officer Pagan consistently excels as a police training officer, setting a high standard in Still Creek and department-wide due to his strong knowledge, skills, judgment, and experience. His work ethic and understanding of local crime make him an exceptional trainer. Over the past year, Officer Pagan has dedicated extra time to struggling trainees, mentoring them both on and off duty. He is the primary resource for recruits needing extra guidance in Still Creek, consistently demonstrating patience and professionalism. Officer Pagan actively seeks quality training for his rookies, involving them in high-priority calls and volunteering with them at the training academy. This provides real valuable world experience and boosts their confidence. Notably, Officer Pagan fosters division culture by hosting a post-training graduation dinner at his home for each group of rookies, promoting unity and belonging within the Still Creek family. Officer Pagan is more than a trainer. He is a mentor, role model, and key figure in the Still Creek Division. His selflessness, leadership, and dedication to new officers make him highly deserving of the PTO of the Year award. Our next award is the School Resource Officer of the Year.
The School Resource Officer of the Year award is presented to the SRO who has demonstrated exceptional leadership qualities to reduce crime on school property and throughout the surrounding communities to develop a positive learning environment.
The 2025 recipient of the School Resource Officer of the Year is Officer Peterson Jean. Since joining Ranson Middle School in August of 2024, Officer Peterson Jean has gone above and beyond to connect with students and address their needs. Recognizing a lack of positive outlets for youth, he launched Future Young Leaders, an after-school program he created and leads entirely on his own. The program combines guided discussions on topics like respect, accountability, and conflict resolution with group workouts to build leadership, discipline, and confidence. What started with just 7 students has already grown through word of mouth, with students actively seeking to join. Officer Jean's passion and initiative had created a safe, empowering space that extends far beyond his daily duties. In addition to FYL, Officer Jean consistently goes the extra miles in SRO, staying late to handle school incidents and proactively sharing data with patrol divisions to address potential issues in the community. Officer Jean is more than an officer. He's a mentor, a role model, and community builder. His commitment to youth development and public safety make him the standout choice for School Resource Officer of the Year. Our next award is for the CMPD Detective of the Year.
The Detective of the Year award is presented to the detective whose body of work demonstrated a high degree of creativity, tenacity, and sense of urgency in solving cases.
The recipient for the Detective of the Year is Detective Jacqueline Carter. Detective Carter, a 15-year veteran of the Homicide Unit, was the lead investigator in the tragic events on April 29th. Her tireless dedication over the past year has been nothing short of extraordinary. She has not only led a complex and emotional investigation with precision, but has also served as primary liaison for the families of the fallen officers, offering support, clarity, and compassion at every step. Detective Carter worked countless hours, including nights and days off, ensuring no detail was overlooked. She personally created individualized presentations for each family, spent hours walking them through the events, and coordinated the return of personal items. She also led multiple officer briefings, helping our department begin to process and heal. Beyond this investigation, Detective Carter maintained a 100% clearance rate on 6 additional homicide cases and assisted in several officer-involved shootings. Her professionalism, compassion, and unwavering commitment exemplify what it means to serve and honor. The next award is for the CMPD Sworn Employee of the Year.
The Sworn Employee of the Year is presented to sworn members of the CMPD who distinguish themselves through either an accumulation of exceptional contributions or a single incident, and whose actions clearly place the individual well above others of equal rank or grade.
The 2025 Sworn Employee of the Year is Detective Brian Kursak. Detective Brian Kursak, assigned to the Violent Criminal Apprehension Team, has consistently gone above and beyond in service to CMPD and the Charlotte community. In 24, he safely apprehended all individuals charged with the city's most violent crimes and worked closely with detectives to ensure cases were thoroughly investigated and presented for prosecution. Detective Kursak is a go-to resource for cell phone and social media analysis, often supporting units outside VCAT who lack access to critical systems. His willingness to assist across the department reflects his teamwork and dedication. A certified firearms instructor, he leads VCAT's monthly training and played a key role in developing the unit selection and assessment course, now used as a model by other CMPD units. As a SWAT team member, he responded to 68 callouts in 2024, serves as a lead trainer, and manages onboarding for new team members. He also contributes to BLET, in-service firearms training, and recruit instruction. Detective Kursak responded swiftly to Hurricane Helene, helping evacuate over 20 individuals and distribute aid. Off-duty, he coaches youth baseball and serves as a mentor in the community. Detective Kursak's exceptional work ethic, leadership, and versatility make him an ideal candidate for Sworn Employee of the Year. Our next award is for the Civilian Employee of the Year.
The Outstanding Civilian Employee of the Year is presented to a civilian member of the CMPD who has distinguished themselves through either an accumulation of exceptional contributions or a single incident, and whose actions clearly place the individual well above others of equal rank or grade.
The recipient for the CMPD Civilian Employee of the Year Award is Tammy Pippin. Tammy Pippin As HR Assistant Director overseeing 2,000 plus CMPD employees, significantly improved HR and employee well-being. Her 3R initiative, recruiting, retaining, retiring, cut police recruit hiring time by 60%. She established the Relaxing into Retirement program, CMPD's first employee engagement unit, and critical incident care team, and the Where Women Shine recruitment campaign. Ms. Pippin reformed HR policies, enhanced wellness and compensation, championed diversity, and decreased promotion grievances by 90%, boosting morale and efficiency. Beyond CMPD, as Executive Director of the North Carolina Police Executives Association, she trained over 1,000 leaders and introduced 2 statewide awards. Her community impact includes raising over $100,000 in scholarships, volunteering with youth and food banks, and serving on multiple boards, notably founding Charlotte's Heroes to Heroes Foundation and supporting PAL. Our next award is the Preservation of Life Medal.
The Preservation of Life Medal may be awarded to a CMPD employee who utilized exceptional tactics or verbal approaches beyond the normal demands of duty to sustain human life or to de-escalate any situation that could have resulted in a deadly response.
The first recipient of the Preservation of Life Medal is Officer Jackson Cummings. On March 17, 2025, officers responded to multiple suicide attempt calls at the South Tryon Street Bridge over I-485, reporting a man with a rope around his neck threatening to jump. Officer Cummings arrived first and found the man straddling the railing with a tight noose. Despite the subject's aggression, Officer Cummings, within an arm's reach, de-escalated the situation and talked him off of the ledge. Medic then transported the man for mental health evaluation. Officer Cummings' exceptional tactics, bravery, judgment, and compassion saved the man's life. The next recipient of the Preservation of Life Medal is Officer William DePaula. On January 14, 2025, Officer DePaula encountered a suicidal person that was planning to jump onto I-85. Officer DePaula used his own personal experience to relate to the person, and the person ultimately walked away and got into the medic truck for his own accord. Officer DePaula's ability to connect on a personal level and help someone in crisis is truly commendable. Interactions like this highlight the importance of empathy and real-life experience in law enforcement, showing that sometimes a compassionate approach can make all the difference. The video of this call for service is used in our CMPD SERVS training. The next recipient of the Preservation of Life Medal is Officer Kevin Daly. On April 10, 2024, Officer Daly responded to a call for service for an individual on the edge of a 13-story roof who was considering taking their own life. Officer Daly risked his safety when he put himself between the edge of the roof and the individual and pulled the individual from the edge. Officer Daly's actions resolved the situation with a positive outcome. Our next award is the CMPD Serves Exceptional Service Award.
The CMPD Serves Exceptional Service Award is presented to employees who embody the pillars and sub-pillars of the CMPD Service Program by leaving positive impressions that influence our organization or the community. The recipients provided internal service through actions, ideas, or collaborative efforts aimed at enhancing our internal culture or providing exceptional customer service that impacted external customers in a manner that enhances someone's perspective of law enforcement.
The winner of the CMPD Serves Exceptional Service Award is Sergeant Donnie Penix, Detective Stephen Parker, and Detective Shatira Miller. In 2023, CMPD partnered with the Boulder Crest Foundation to offer the Struggle Well program, which trains first responders to transform struggle into strength. In early 2024, Sergeant Penix and Detectives Parker and Miller completed an extensive train-the-trainer certification and began facilitating Struggle Well classes for CMPD employees. They are recognized for their commitment to their colleagues' well-being, aiming to make the training valuable for all attendees. By openly sharing their own experiences and teaching over 100 employees, they have demonstrated CMPD's SERVS pillars: empathize, educate, and exceed. Their focus on emotional and mental wellness strengthens the department, enabling employees to provide better service to the community. Their positive impact has earned genuine gratitude. Quoting Chief Johnny Jennings, they strive to be the best part of someone's worst day by equipping attendees with skills to navigate their struggles. The next recipient of the CMPD Serves Exceptional Service Award is Officer Matthew Draper. Officer Draper is a peer support member, and he consistently exemplifies CMPD Serves values. Examples include patiently freeing a stuck deer and fixing the fence in freezing temperatures, calmly de-escalating a suicidal person with a firearm, offering comfort and resources, and showing compassion to a struggling individual by buying him food while also willingly handling extra calls in a short-staffed division despite working in another. Draper routinely goes above and beyond to help both the community and his fellow officers. The next CMPD Serves Exceptional Service Award goes to telecommunicator Pamela DeCampos. Pam has been a vital and dedicated CMPD Serves instructor this past year, stepping outside her comfort zone to become a great asset to the program. She frequently taught classes, often on her days off or during night shifts, even volunteering during a hurricane. Embracing the Growing Minds Together curriculum, she proactively researched the material and demonstrated remarkable flexibility and reliability as an instructor. Pam, a third shift communications trainer nominated for Trainer of the Year and a peer support member, consistently provides high-quality customer service as noted by her supervisors. She embodies all CMPD Serves sub-pillars and has shown a strong growth mindset. The next award for today's ceremony is the Life Saving Award. The first recipient is Officer Brian Miller. While conducting a traffic stop, Officer Miller was approached by another vehicle whose passenger was experiencing a heart attack. Recognizing the urgency, Officer Miller immediately terminated the initial stop to assess the distressed individual. Determining the need for immediate intervention, Officer Miller moved the passenger from the vehicle onto Albemarle Road and began chest compressions. Upon the arrival of paramedics, the patient was flatlined. The paramedics credited Officer Miller's prompt actions with saving the life of the passenger, as they were able to regain a pulse and transport him to Atrium, Maine in critical condition. The next recipients for the Life Saving Award are Officer Sabrina Wright, Officer Nicholas Madison, and Officer Matthew Lee. Responding quickly to a shooting on February 17, 2025, Officers Madison, Lee, and Wright found a 15-year-old boy with chest entry and exit wounds. Officer Madison provided immediate first aid, covering the wound to prevent air entry, while Officer Lee removed clothing. Their coordinated efforts stabilized the victim, whose bullet narrowly missed vital organs. Thanks to their rapid response, the uninvolved bystander survived life-threatening injuries and returned home after hospitalization. The next recipients for the Life Saving Award are Officer Shane Cobb and Officer Sabrina Wright. On September 23, 2024, near Clanton Road, Officer Cobb encountered a gunshot victim in a car. After the victim lost his pulse, Officer Cobb initiated CPR, regaining a response. Officer Wright arrived, applied chest seals, and helped stabilize him for medic. Their immediate actions saved the victim. Subsequently, the officers gathered witness information, located the suspect with blood evidence, and a search warrant yielded firearms and other evidence, leading to the suspect's arrest and case clearance. The next recipients for the Life Saving Award are Officer Maximilian Vitale, Officer Michael King, and Officer Hannah Cumby. On March 13, 2024, officers responded to a reported domestic disturbance at 540 Presley Road involving a male suspect assaulting his girlfriend. Officer Vitale was the first to arrive, finding the victim with an injury to her arm. The situation escalated quickly when a gunshot was heard from a nearby stairwell. Reacting immediately, Officer Vitale moved towards the sound with his weapon drawn, located the male suspect with a gunshot wound to the chest, and swiftly secured the scene. He then began critical life-saving measures by applying direct pressure to the wound. Upon their arrival, Officers King and Cumby joined Officer Vitale, and together they applied chest seals and further assessed the suspect's injuries. As CFD and the paramedics assumed medical care, the officers continued to secure the scene and offer support to the victim. The rapid, professional, and coordinated efforts of Officers Vitale, King, and Cumby in this tense and dynamic situation likely saved the suspect's life. Following hospital treatment, the suspect was released and subsequently arrested on domestic violence charges. The next recipients for the Life-Saving Award are Officers Robert Jimmy Yang, Jackson Rhodes, John McGinty, and Hong Lee. On March 6, 2025, Officer Jimmy reported hearing 5 to 6 nearby gunshots and began canvassing the area. He subsequently located a juvenile gunshot wound victim near the dead end of North Chase Drive, bordering MLK Middle School. As officers arrived, a second juvenile gunshot wound victim was discovered inside a vehicle. Both individuals presented with life-threatening injuries. North Tryon Division officers immediately administered multiple life-saving techniques. Upon their arrival, medic assumed care and transported both juveniles to Atrium, Maine with critical injuries. The next recipients for the Life-Saving Award are Officer Derek Entwistle, Officer Jasmine Martinez, and Officer John Morrissey. On May 28, 2024, North Tryon Division officers responded to a shooting. Officers Entwistle, Morrissey, and Martinez were first on scene and found a victim suffering from 6 gunshot wounds. Despite a chaotic scene with bystanders interfering, the officers stayed focused, quickly applying tourniquets and pressure to stop the bleeding. They removed the victim's clothing to locate hidden wounds and continued life-saving efforts for about 5 minutes until CFD and medic arrived. Thanks to their fast professional response under pressure, the victim survived injuries that could have easily been fatal. Officer Entwistle, Morrissey, and Martinez are being recognized for their heroic actions. The next recipients for the Life-Saving Award are Officer Benjamin Langdon and Officer Alexander Larson. Responding to a shooting and car crash on Mulberry Pond Drive on April 26, 2024, Officers Langdon and Larson found the driver unresponsive with a pelvic gunshot wound. They extracted him and immediately applied TAC-med techniques, with Officer Langdon using his knees to control severe bleeding. Their swift action, particularly stopping an arterial bleed, stabilized the victim until medic arrived and confirmed it was life-saving. The medic operations supervisor commended the officers' rapid response and effective intervention in saving the driver's life. The next recipient for the Life-Saving Award is Officer Tyler Moorman. On July 9, 2024, Metro Division officers responded to a shooting involving a female victim. Officer Moorman was first on scene and found the woman with a gunshot wound to the chest, surrounded by distressed family members. Drawing on his SWAT and tactical combat casualty care training, Officer Moorman quickly applied chest seals to both the entry and exit wounds. His calm presence and professional response helped stabilize the victim until medic and fire personnel arrived. Officer Moorman's swift actions and advanced training played a key role in giving the victim a greater chance of survival and brought calm to a chaotic situation. He is to be commended for his life-saving response. The next recipients for the Life-Saving Award are Detective David Batson, Officer Von Pauls, Officer Derek Schuler. On August 19, 2024, VCAT located an attempted murder suspect. After the suspect refused to surrender, SWAT was called. During the subsequent breach, Officer Von Pauls and Detective Batson found Davis with life-threatening self-inflicted wrist lacerations and a blood-filled bathtub. They immediately initiated life-saving measures, joined by Officer Schuler. The officers applied tourniquets, stabilized Davis, and moved him for transport by medic. Their swift actions saved his life, and he was later hospitalized and taken into custody for attempted murder. These incidents highlight the professionalism and dedication of these officers. The next recipients for the Life-Saving Award are Officer Derek Freeman and Officer Kelvin Moore. While on security detail at a homicide victim's funeral on August 7, 2024, Officers Freeman and Moore were approached by a father with his unresponsive 2-year-old son, whose neck was trapped in a car window. Officer Freeman immediately called medic and began CPR, while Officer Moore assisted with rescue breaths and a CPR mask. Their coordinated efforts, leveraging recent CPR recertification, regained the child's pulse before paramedics arrived. The child survived. Officers Freeman and Moore, both parents of young children, remained professional and compassionate, their quick thinking and teamwork directly saving the child's life. Their heroic actions exemplify public service and merit the life-saving award. The next recipient for the life-saving award is Officer Michael Brenniger. On November 27, 2024, while on duty in the North Division, Officer Brenniger displayed extraordinary composure, courage, and tactical skill when a vehicle suddenly approached him. The female passenger in visible distress alerted Officer Brenniger that she had been shot. Without hesitation, Officer Brenniger assessed the victim and observed multiple gunshot wounds, including a large caliber round to the left side of her chest, which was bleeding heavily. Drawing upon his prior experience as a U.S. Army combat medic, Officer Brenniger immediately initiated life-saving measures. He performed a rapid trauma assessment, identifying 3 gunshot wounds to the abdomen, chest, and extremities. Recognizing the urgent nature of the injuries, Officer Brenniger applied direct pressure to the most severe wound and then used gauze and bandages to control the bleeding. Upon noting signs of labored breathing, he quickly applied a chest seal to the wound on her chest, stabilizing her condition and supporting her breathing until medic arrived. Officer Brenniger's actions exemplify the highest standards in dedication and professionalism. His ability to remain composure and apply advanced trauma care and prioritize the victim's well-being, even in a chaotic and high-stakes environment, is a direct reflection of his training, courage, and compassion. The next recipient of the Life-Saving Award is Officer Matthew Blake. On May 8, 2024, Officer Matthew Blake responded first to a North Division shooting. Finding a victim with a severe arterial bleed from a leg gunshot and multiple torso wounds, Officer Blake acted alone, calmly applied a tourniquet. He then directed arriving officers and assisted with chest seals. Officer Blake's rapid actions addressing critical bleeding directly saved the victim's life. Our next award is the Meritorious Award.
The Meritorious Award is given to citizens who distinguish themselves by meritorious service. This award is given for extraordinary actions during which the citizen is at risk of serious injury or death.
The Meritorious Award goes to Jeffrey Scott Gore, Jr. On April 16, 2025, at the South Tryon Street overpass at I-485, multiple 911 calls reported a man preparing to jump with a noose around his neck. Amidst stopped traffic, 25-year-old citizen Jeffrey Scott Gore, Jr. bravely approached the man, speaking calmly and gaining his trust. Due to Jeffrey's courageous intervention, the man turned from the ledge and removed the noose, after which he was transported for care. Jeffrey, who had recently lost someone to suicide, acted selflessly. His empathy and bravery, intervening when others did not, likely saved a life and exemplify extraordinary community spirit deserving of commendation. Our next award is the Citizen Service Award.
The Citizen Service Award is presented to citizens who have collaborated with CMPD and exhibited considerable initiative and resolve in one or more of the following areas: addressing problems within the community, improving neighborhood safety and conditions, serving as a community leader as demonstrated by their actions, service or work with youth, and or have accomplished some other extraordinary act of service to the CMPD or the community.
The recipient of the Citizen Service Award is Ramona Leslie with Red Classic Company. Red Classic Company is recognized today for their exceptional support and dedication to the Still Creek community through their long-standing partnership with the annual community Christmas event. For several years, their significant financial contributions and active participation have been crucial to the event's success, enabling us to provide toys, bicycles, and a memorable holiday celebration to hundreds of local children annually. This 6-year-old event brings joy and hope to families who might otherwise miss such meaningful celebrations. Beyond financial aid, Red Classics Company's presence has strengthened trust between law enforcement and vulnerable community members, exemplifying impactful public-private collaboration. We consider them a vital partner in our mission to serve and uplift our community, making their selfless service and generosity deserving of formal recognition and gratitude. Our next award is the Chiefs Award for Excellence in Policing.
The Chiefs Award for Excellence in Policing may be awarded to CMPD employees who have distinguished themselves by exceptional performance that clearly benefited CMPD, citizens, the communities we police, or advanced the field of policing in general.
The first recipient of this award is Officer Rafael Garcia for Project Lamplighter. The Lamplighter Inn on Edelman Road was a hub of criminal activity. In fall of 2024, Officer Garcia learned of its sale and conditions worsened during the ownership transition. When utilities were shut off at the preoccupied hotel in November of 2024, Officer Garcia coordinated with city departments to restore them and, despite increasing crime, advocated for code enforcement action as owners neglected the issues. He then collaborated with agencies to safely relocate all residents by December 10th of 2024, serving as the primary liaison. Officer Garcia's leadership and dedication in resolving this longstanding problem earned him widespread praise, including recognition from CMPD leadership and the Code Enforcement Director. The next Chiefs Award for Excellence in Policing goes to Officer Gary Ritter and Chaplain Jonathan Doolin for the Umbrella Project Outreach Initiative. On May of 2023, Officer Ritter and CMPD Chaplain Jonathan Doolin initiated direct outreach to the unhoused, organizing monthly service events in a Target parking lot. Collaborating with numerous organizations, they provided mental health and addiction support, spiritual care, ID and medication assistance, meals, hygiene services, and more. They also partnered with property owners for cleanup efforts. Over 2 years, their initiative aided individuals in finding stability, employment, and housing. This model's citywide expansion led to a visible decrease in encampments and loitering. Ritter and Doolin's dedication resulted in reduced crime and an improved community quality of life. The next Chiefs Award for Excellence in Policing goes to Detective Kevin Stussy for House Bill 495, money laundering. As a detective in the Financial Crimes Unit, Kevin Stussy has become an expert in financial investigations. Recognizing a major gap in North Carolina law, its lack of specific money laundering legislation, Detective Stussy acted. While existing laws allow for some disruption of criminal activity, offenders face no penalties for transferring or using illicit proceeds. In 2023, Detective Stussy initiated discussions with Representative John Torbett, providing detailed insights and examples to support the creation of a money laundering statute. His efforts led to the drafting of House Bill 495, which was referred to the Judiciary Committee in May of 2024, passed by the House and Senate in June, and signed into law by Governor Cooper on June 21st, 2024. The law became effective December 1st, 2024. Detective Stussy's initiative and expertise have created lasting change in the fight against financial crime. His work ensures stronger enforcement capabilities across North Carolina and provides a vital tool to disrupt criminal enterprises that rely on laundering illicit gains. The next recipients of the Chiefs Award for Excellence in Policing goes to Officer Claudio Jimenez for Latino Community Outreach. CMPD's Latino Outreach Officer Claudio Jimenez is crucial in fostering trust with the Latino community. He regularly partners with Latino media outlets, discussing crime prevention and reporting, reaching thousands via radio and social media. Jimenez also provides safety training to Spanish-speaking businesses and translation assistance to CMPD colleagues. Annually, he organizes a large Christmas event in the nation's 4 corridor, securing donations to bring holiday cheer to many children. Despite his varied duties, Jimenez consistently supports other coordinators. His dedication and outreach are invaluable in connecting CMPD with the Latino community. The next recipient of the Chiefs Award for Excellence in Policing goes to Detective Trevor Haupt for the South American Theft Group investigation. Beginning in 2023, CMPD saw a rise in residential break-ins targeting Asian families, particularly in the Still Creek Division. Detective Haupt's investigation linked these to South American Theft Group. By May of 2024, he identified 2 suspects and 3 vehicles, leading to surveillance with GPS trackers. On June 7th, the suspects, dressed like in previous break-ins, were observed targeting a Tribune Drive home and stealing electronics, jewelry, and over $5,000. Detectives followed and arrested the suspects, with a 3rd apprehended later. All confessed to multiple break-ins. Searches of 2 properties yielded substantial stolen goods. While 47 cases were suspected, 17 were confirmed. Since these arrests, break-ins targeting Asian families have significantly decreased. The next Chief's Award for Excellence in Policing goes to Detective Jonathan Shear for organized retail theft investigations. In 2024, Detective Shear was pivotal in numerous high-impact organized retail crime investigations, supporting the U.S. Secret Service Task Force and leading Charlotte area retail theft cases. Shear significantly aided the federal investigation of a Wilkinson Boulevard fencing operation. His coordination with the SSTF, analysis of seized phones, and acquisition of search warrants provided key evidence. In December of 2024, his interview yielded crucial intelligence on multiple fencing operations. This led to joint federal and local search warrants executed in 2025 at the storefront in a Little Rock Road storage unit. This resulted in the seizure of over 8,000 stolen items, $9,700 in cash, and the shutdown of e-commerce storefronts linked to over $1.9 million in sales. Additionally, Shear managed a large ORC case involving 13 suspects connecting to over 250 thefts, totaling over $500,000 across Mecklenburg and Cabarrus counties. Since August of 2024, he also led and participated in larceny operations in Charlotte, leading to 40 arrests and the recovery of $55,000 in stolen property. Detective Shear's diligence, collaboration, and ability to link local cases to larger networks has been essential in disrupting organized theft and fencing operations in the region. The next recipients of the Chief's Award for Excellence in Policing are being recognized for their role in the Juvenile Accountability and Diversion Empowerment Team. They include Lieutenant Eric Tran Thompson, Sergeant Caleb Skipper, Officers James Teague, Dwayne Blunt, Charles Famulari, Bradley Yako, Cody Crowell, Luke Poplin, Spencer Biondo, Matthew Lurlow, and Data Analytics Specialist Richard Swallows. In response to a surge in juvenile crime, Lieutenant Tran Thompson formed the Juvenile Accountability and Diversion Empowerment Team in January of 2024. This initiative focused on accountability and addressing root causes. Data support from Rich Swallows guided their strategies. JADE officers built key partnerships with legal entities and families. In 2024, the JADE team achieved 176 arrests, 94 firearms seized, 37 stolen vehicles, 17 pounds of narcotics seized, and $33,000 in illicit currency recovered. Beyond these numbers, JADE fostered community trust with parents seeking their help. Their efforts resulted in significant public safety improvements, including decreases in juvenile involvement as suspects in property crimes, violent crimes, gun-related assaults with deadly weapons, and Kia Hyundai thefts. Through data-driven enforcement, outreach, and collaboration, the JADE team demonstratively enhanced Charlotte's safety in 2024. Our final award in this category for the Chief's Unit Citation, or the first unit, our final award categories for the Chief's Unit Citation.
The Chief's Unit Citation is awarded to a departmental unit or section whose performance is indicative of a high degree of initiative, determination, diligence, and cooperative effort in the fulfillment of a difficult mission, operation, task, or project.
The first unit being awarded the Chief's Unit Citation is the CMPD HR Division. HR Manager Latoya Dorsey, HR Generalist Senior Jasmine Bennett, HR Generalist Senior Michelle Nettles, and HR Generalist Alexandra Agee, Rose Glanzer, Margaret Wowen, HR Specialist Senior Lori Eichler, Jeffrey Hintz, Caitlin Maloney, Tracy McKenzie, Shantae Bowser, and Cameron Davis, Emily Karkowski, Samantha Rosano, Administrative Officer Senior Erica Hopkins, Officer Assistant Laura Jordan, Safety Coordinator Patrick Leonard. In the 2024, the CMPD HR team showed exceptional dedication and compassion, especially after the loss of 4 officers, including Officer Iyer. They provided immediate support like food, emotional aid, and the HR cart. Members such as Latoya Dorsey worked over 80 hours, even setting up a temporary office. They handled logistics for Officer Iyer's family, tracked 700 plus gifts for the fallen officers' families, and supported units like communications and CSI. Other key initiatives included relaxing into retirement, a retiree newsletter, and the reimagined CMPD Hall of Legends. HR also hosted engagement events and delivered 20-plus training programs reducing complaints. Despite a small team, under 20, they processed 250-plus interviews, onboarded 300-plus employees, managed Workday, and maintained core HR functions. Their unwavering support, professionalism, and commitment to the CMPD Core 4 values make them deserving of the Chief's Unit Citation Award. The next recipients of the Chief's Unit Citation are members of the Dignitary Protection Unit, including Major Brian Sanders, Lieutenant Jesse Wood, Lieutenant Andrew Studney, Lieutenant Kevin Triola, Sergeants Adam Jones, Alec LaFontaine, Mark Parrott, Evan Knabb, Adrian Washington. Officers Adam Mills, Andrew Innerfield, Benjamin McCrary, Brian Rogers, Caleb Corrales, Chrissy Pickert, Damon Green, Daniel Bagnosco, Daniel Youngblood, David Tropiano, Eric Stewart, Eugene Jarka, Evan Seymour, Frederick Page, Holly Lawton, Jody Harkey, Jonathan Shinarowski, Justin Davies, Kelvin Moore, Logan Beck, Luke Donahue, Marquise Pittman, Matthew Ratchford, Matthew Wilson, Michael Topper, Rebecca O'Neill, Sangwan Lee, Sean Hess, Tatiana Grigg, and Terry Weaver. In 2024, the Dignitary Protection Unit effectively executed 97 protective details during the election season. Notably, 19 of those were major events that necessitated full unit mobilization and coordination with state and federal counterparts. The DPU's high level of professionalism was recognized nationally when the acting director of the U.S. Secret Service, after observing a detail in Charlotte following the assassination attempt on President Donald Trump, publicly praised the team as a potential national model. The 2024 election brought an increased pace of high-level events, keeping DPU in constant operational readiness. Their reputation for excellence also led to their assignment of securing a post-hurricane site in Swannanoa, North Carolina, by federal agencies. Throughout 2024, DPU members consistently prioritized their duties, sacrificing personal time and days off to safeguard VIPs, the department, and the community. This concludes the awards for the 2025 CMPD Awards ceremony. Today, we recognize 164 individuals who performed incredible acts of bravery, extraordinary acts of kindness, amazing acts of selflessness, and dedication to this department and city. Even with all that, in reality, we just scratched the surface of the stories that we could tell. The list goes on. What also goes on is the work. Men and women continue to show up each and every day to make this city a safe place for us all. This time next year, we look forward to telling you more of these stories. Until then, I ask that you continue to support and uplift our law enforcement officers. As we close out today's ceremony, I want to personally thank the members of the CMPD Awards Committee who engaged in countless hours of careful consideration and preparation to make this ceremony happen. Thank you all for being with us to honor and celebrate the members of the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department and the citizens who have supported us over this past year. May God bless our police officers and the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department. Please join us in the Fellowship Hall for light refreshments and conversation. Thank you.